Ahoy! I wanted to make a video to update anyone who cares with what's going on in my corner of the world these days. Um, Obviously, with everything that went down, it's called for a good bit of a hiatus. Um, and it's been good. It's been bittersweet as well. But it's been very freeing and eye opening. There's still a lot I'm doing behind the scenes in regards to responding to this and dealing with this properly. But those things take time. It's bittersweet in that I love making content. I love entertaining and providing that for people, an audience. But at the same time, it is also very exhausting creatively and mentally, personally, to just keep up with the algorithms and the regular posting schedule and networking and all the creator stuff. Also bittersweet because it was my livelihood. um but it's been very freeing to create for me and just what I want to do, without even the ability to, share it with anybody. It's like I'm making it and I know, well, I can't share it right now at this time because hate. But it's been very freeing in that regard to not have to create for anything but for me and for what I want for my goals. So in this hiatus time where I haven't been able to post anything, or even wanted to post anything for that matter, I've kind of just gone back to my roots. I've been going back to the gym, which feels nice to kind of feel healthy again and feel like I'm looking better again. Um, and also doing a lot of writing. I've written four different short films in this time and even started one of my dream series, like the first episode of a future dream series that I have, all of it unrelated to the Paladin project, which again is bittersweet because I do love that character. I do love that world, and that concept and that idea. But obviously in the midst of this, it was necessary for the project to take a back seat. A lot of the different creators that wanted to be involved, and different networking connections that I had made had backed out because obviously it's a messy situation. It makes sense. Even regardless of the truth, it's all just messy. And so a lot of people just kind of withdrew in that regard. And I get it. Even that has been kind of super freeing to see who responded in which ways. A lot of different people reached out to me privately, and I really appreciate that. All of you who have done that. Um, and whether you're fellow creators or fans, I've seen m- most of those. I haven't replied to everything because there's just too much to reply to. It's overwhelming, but at the same time, it meant a lot to me, more than you can know. Even if I didn't reply to it, it meant so much to me, especially in the hardest times. And I really needed that. Obviously, it's easier, but still super brave to reach out in private and say the things that some of you said and to show your support in that way. I don't blame almost anyone for not wanting to go against the mob and the that mentality. Who would want to stand in front of that? I get it. It's not the popular thing to do. I understand that. But even just reaching out in private and showing your support in that way means a ton. And it was really one of the things that kind of helped me survive this. Initially, that whole situation was incredibly dark. Um, I say it with a different air now. And comedy's kind of just one of my coping mechanisms, but it's definitely the closest I've ever come to the strong desire to control alt delete, if that makes sense. Um, but I'm glad I held on. I'm glad that a lot of people reached out in that regard and told me to hang in there and told me to fight this. People who know who I truly am and know what I have to offer this world. So I held on to that and I came back to that I have stories to tell. I have art to create and bring into this world and talents that I deeply desire to share and am passionate about. Getting back in touch with those passions has been incredibly healing. This was something that was intended for evil and was intended to destroy me, and it came very close. In a lot of ways, it did destroy me. I can now look at it as kind of a blessing in disguise. And barring all cliches and all that, it really is. I feel like I'm on a much better path. There's a principle in life that I've kind of come back to in the midst of this, and it's that your direction, not your intention, determines your destination every time. Because you can have the best intentions in the world, but if you're not on the right path, if you're not going in the right direction, you're not going to get to the destination that you're desiring. So it's been a wonderful time to realign intention and direction to coincide towards my true destination, my truly desired destination. It's obviously still a horrible springboard into that, but that's kind of how life goes sometimes. A necessary hurdle to reroute you and redirect you into better things. You know, again, cliches of where one door closes, others open, and there's been so many different, much better, much more fruitful opportunities, as a lot of these kind of crappy doors that I was thinking were glamorous and shiny were not going to serve me, were not going to serve my future. And many of these other doors that will and that are more promising in time have opened and presented themselves to me in the form of better, more mature, more sincere, genuine connections and networking opportunities and friendships. And I'm really thankful for that. I'm really thankful for everybody who has stuck it out with me. And I think there's a lot of people that see through it, a lot of people that saw through it. Obviously, there's still a mob. There's still people that, like, just at face value took the situation and just jumped with it. But now looking at the whole situation now, it's so absurd. It's just so absurd. So it's not something that in any way deserves to destroy me or slow me down in any capacity. If anything, it has sprung me forward into a much better future. Still have a lot of love for the project, and I will just say it's on hiatus until further notice. There is something there to be had with the original concept and that idea, but having gone back to working with actual actors and professionals in the film industry, it's been a real breath of fresh air to work with that kind of talent. But there's also a lot of talent in the creator community. I think that there's still something to that idea for sure. I don't want to touch it for a while. So I'm going to just focus on what I love. So we'll see. We'll see if I have any desire or feel like getting back to the content creation space. And again, it's been kind of bittersweet to be free from it and be away from it in some ways. But also I missed you guys. So we'll see. Stick around and you'll hear from me when you hear from me. All right. Bye.